happened yesterday as well. You need to reconnect.
Prepare for battle.
FY. With the Witch Doctor, Fenrir on the bench, Black obviously on his Terrorblade, and on the Radiant side, we have June handling the Lifestealer. Luo is playing the Brewmaster, just given a ward by Chuan. Chuan will be on his Chen, Ferrari 430 once again on the Morphing, which has proven to work really well for them. And lastly, we have CH on the Lion.
Alright, well, a bit of a fight brewing here as Brewmaster puts his nose forward. And they're looking to block some of these Chen camps here. So get down an early sentry ward to block off his main big camp, but they don't want to let him get to the other one here. Fight is now going to break out. Ferrari hasn't skilled anything just yet. Could go into the waveform to escape. Could go into the morph strength, depending on the scenario, but they want to make sure Vici don't get deep into their jungle to block the other big camp for the Chen.
I think they saw the ward. Chuan was actually pinging out. Yeah, they saw it.
Yep, got him.
So this would not affect him at all. This is really good for the Chen to be able to find the ward there. First bounty rune. Here we go.
Ooh, June hasn't skilled anything just yet. Could go into open wounds if he wants to, but no, he doesn't want to go in and fight, it looks like. They'll give the bounty rune to Super.
Double bounty rune for the dire side.
Shadow Fiend and Terrorblade. Well, they had two greedy carries and both get a good start with the bounty runes.
And judging by the lanes itself right now, Tide is going to have a tough time at bottom because Lifestealer, the slow is a long duration though, and with the Lion coming in from the side, there's a lot of kill potential, and he needs to make sure he knows the position of the Chen. Like if the Chen is nearby, it's gonna be really dangerous for him to run up the lane. So he needs to place the ward in a really good position where IG is not gonna be able to deward. He's gonna block the camp.
Yeah, blocks the camp, and it's hard to deward this. They have got one sentry ward, but you may need. They're picking out the wrong spot. They're picking like that around that magic bush spot, so they may have the wrong idea of where he's actually planted it. Mid lane, Ferrari's morphed Agi to help him last hit, chews through a bit of his mana, but this is not going to be a fun lane for him. He needs to bring out some more Tangos. Yeah, he's already got more Tangos on the way.
He's going to rely on the Chen to make time easy, life easy for him. Oh, the Walkin. Yep. The Chen has a Walkin. Oh dear.
He's going to send that mid and just probably stack in the meantime.
Poor Shadowfin.
Yeah. Zone Super out. This is going to kind of give Morphling at least his bottle.
Like you mentioned, they ping it the wrong side and the sentry was like... Yep. This is the more common spot yesterday. We've seen a lot of games where they had the observer in the triangle. You can see here the trees, the triangle here, they place it in the middle. So a lot of teams have been doing that because it's a tough spot to deward. And CH tried to do that.
And iceiceice also kind of tricked them because he ran all the way over to the big camp. Like he ran really far left and made it look like he maybe planted the ward further to the left than he actually did when he planted on his way back.
Those small little moves.
Little mind gauges coming out. So mid lane, first blood, the Tornado with a waveform forward Ferrari. Gets the kill there. Kind of a solo kill. The Chen Tornado obviously helping out a lot, but there was nothing. Like, that was just morphling with the Tornado, which he already knew was there. I guess just getting a bit too greedy. Had Tangos on the way, but they arrived too late for him. That is a bad start for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, you don't want the Morphling to get a kill on the Shadow Fiend. That's really big for them. Morphling now, he's gonna have the level advantage, and it's gonna be very easy for him to just waveform on top of the Shadow Fiend since it's higher level.
What do you make of Ferrari's items? He goes Boots Acolyte, doesn't actually get the bottle just yet.
Yeah, with that he has a lot. He can just wave up to the Shadow Fiend, and just right click him if the creep wave is in between the river.
I guess it's more just not having the bottle yet, but he can get that a bit later on.
He doesn't need the bottle. He still has Tangos, and he's not spamming wave that much. And I mean, with the stats and the armor, he's gonna be able.
He's going in for another kill, maybe. With Boots, he can actually kill Super if Super gets too aggressive. Meanwhile, it's top lane, the Brewmaster going down. Ferrari still not looking to go in, kind of pressing up, but the top lane, Metamorph was used, as well as the chain stuns of Fenrir and FY and the Venge and Witch Doctor.
Yeah, they have a Ring of Basilisk open right now, so they're gonna do a lot of damage to the tower here. Metamorphosis is half duration more, so...
Already TPing back in is Luo. Looking to do what he can to try and keep this tower alive, but not exactly a position he wants to be running into right now. They're even looking to zone him out, so get some more illusions up. Fenrir positioned aggressively behind the team tower.
iceiceice in trouble.
Oh dear. June as well as Lion, they've got the initiation here. Going to be kept alive though, not having that Orb of Venom.
They don't have Orb of Venom for that kill. That would have been a kill if they had Orb of Venom.
You've got to channel their inner Eternal Envy, Orb of Venom all the time. bit surprised not seeing that over Venom.
Yesterday, was it the game I custom? I think it was with LD that we were talking about.
No, it's not having with me, I think.
Was it the game with you? Yeah, we were talking about the same thing. No orb of Venom again. And here, Shadowfiend getting drive back. Like,
Shadowfiend had to go. He went boots first over the bottle because if he doesn't have boots, Morphling just chases him down and kills him. And I guess Shadowfiend has regen as well himself, so he'll get the bottle a little bit later.
He can actually kill the Shadowfiend if the Shadowfiend comes up right now.
Yeah, if he hits the waveform.
Needs to be really careful here.
Shadowfiend is 10 going up. Once he's about reaching that threshold of HP where he should be okay. Well, this is a nice route for FY. He gets an invis to make his way mid, but does get scouted out by a Raiden Observer Ward, so Morphling should not be caught by surprise by this.
Yeah, but he has nothing to worry about. It's
Morph strength.
He has more strength and...
Oh dear. Bottom lane, Tide goes down. The line as well as Lifestealer teaming up for this one. No Orb of Venom, no problem. June's picked up some phase boots to help him fight out at the bottom lane. And, well, IG get their second kill of the game. Another tornado coming in mid lane. This is going to give Super a rough time once more.
The Chen is getting all these creeps all the time. It's going to be really hard for the Shadowfiend. Yeah, are there stacks in the jungle? That's the question. There's
one little medium stack.
Yeah, the medium stack and only 2 camps, so they need to have more for him right now. Maybe the Venge will actually come over after this to help him with the stacks. But at this point, the Shadowfiend is just really far behind. He needs some help from the supports to get stacks going, catch up later. The lane is basically really hard for him right now. He's under so much threat of getting killed by the
he's worried about the Chen gank at any time, and it's going to be a waveform forward. Doesn't actually hit Ferrari. Bottling up, has to be a little bit careful here. No runes coming anytime soon. The Chen with the smoke is about to loop around, but has just a Centaur, so getting in the Centaur's close enough for a stun relies entirely on Super going too far forward. Which may actually happen. Super may get a bit too confident here, as here comes the Chen. Centaur's at the ready, but he's not going to move forward too much.
Yeah, that was just like an attempt. He was just like hoping that the Shadowfiend will actually go out in the last hit the crit, and he can get in position for a stomp. But this is the type of situations where you actually rather have the penitence instead of having the test of faith.
Yeah. I mean, it's even with a penitence there, the 14% movement slow, I don't think they wouldn't have got the Centaur stun anyway.
It would be a better chance of getting a kill, definitely, rather than having the test of fate. But this is just like one of the few exceptions.
You never know which Chen creeps you're going to get as part of the problem there. Bottom lane, though, the Chen Centaurs, they're chain stunning iceiceice, impale into Hex with the double Centaurs, and iceiceice just so that tanky, 3 points in Kraken Shell. This is where you do need the test of faith. The nuke damage wasn't enough though, iceiceice.
Wave?
Oh, he misses.
Didn't hit.
That triple Kraken build. This is the iceiceice special. Most Tides were at least traditionally going for Inca Smash as their main spell, but iceiceice more into the Kraken, and well, all these Chen creeps doing next to no damage against that.
Yeah, I guess even if he had 3 points in anchor, he would also survive because more damage reduction and stuff like that. But yeah, this build giving him more defensive capabilities, but it's gonna require him to stay in lane longer for him to get more levels because he committed so many points into the Kraken.
Yeah.
Bottom
tier, top tier 1 tower looks to be under siege now with no one really able to defend this. Level 4 Brewmaster has Chen coming up as well, but would require like a lifesteal TP, which he does have, but not going to use it. Terrorblade Black gets the tower, and we'll see Vici Gaming.
Here comes Shun.
I mean, what's he going to do? It's a Witch Doctor cast.
Too late to the party.
Yeah, the cast can just hit his Centaurs and, well, I guess on cooldown for the time being, but not exactly a place where it can make much happen for the time being. So Morphling's picked up a Gloves of Haste. Well, it looks like we'll be seeing a Midas for 430. I guess realizing he's going to have to be kind of the main carry with Lifestealer being that. I mean, Lifestealer can carry, but does fall off a lot, especially against physical damage. This is not exactly an ideal Lifestealer game to be fighting in the late game, but he can look to kind of apply a lot of pressure in the early to mid game.
And he finally goes back for the Orb of Venom as well on the Lifestealer because he realized he needs it. Now he's 1v1, Lions.
Sandria scouts out the gank towards the mid lane, but he may pay for this with her own life. Impale, Centaur stomp number 1, Centaur stomp number 2 coming with a waveform. That's a dead Pendra. FY now maybe it's a trouble himself. Ferrari gets maledicted up. That's just a level 1 maledict. FY gonna be just fine. No waveform on it, but now here comes Tide 3, Hero Ravage, and the Inca Smash. IG lose 3. Terrible fight for the IG squad as well. They get annihilated there.
Yeah, that was a really good timing, a really good position. Really good time to appear for a Tidehunter. Coming in from behind, enemy committed so far down. Was he doing some stacks nearby?
The Tide, I'm not sure. He came from like underneath.
He came from the jungle.
I thought, oh, he came from above. Oh, he came from behind in the
Radiant's
jungle.
middle
Okay.
tower is under attack.
I guess it was, yeah. This stack has been cleared out, so I guess he killed that big stack.
Yeah,
Was it
definitely. He's gonna get run down by the lifestealer, but Kraken's gonna proc and he's gonna be able to just get out.
With Kraken, with Anchor Smash, the Lifestealer does decent damage, but just not really quite enough to kill iceiceice on his own, it feels like.
Yeah, but he's gonna be able to do a lot of damage every time he comes up and farm. That's like the issue. The Tide is gonna take a lot of Hagstone from him. And here we go, the stacking commences. Pioneer is gonna start stacking the Ancients here. F5 stacking the medium camp in their own jungle. It's gonna be a lot of space for the Shadow Fiend to catch up later on.
I feel like IG have to know the stack's going to start and look toward it soon. Part of the problem though, Brewmaster in the offlane not going to get that same good timing on the Blink Dagger. He's doing pretty well though. He's sitting on 1200 gold, and they need that ASAP if they want to contest some of these stacks, especially the Ancient stack. I feel very important to try and prevent.
Yeah, and the last fight was a huge blow to them. Like Ferrari almost had his Midas and he died because of the
Dyer's
fantastic
middle
ravage by
tower is under
iceiceice.
attack.
He's still like 300
Dyer's
away, but
structures are
it really
fortified.
affected his Midas timing after, you know, the good start he had in the lane. That was a really huge blow for them. They need a lot of time to recover, get the blink on the Panda as well. Now the supports are going to be smoked up on the move with the Lifestealer, going to make a play here. At least they want to make sure that they get a tower from this.
A small window with no Ravage. They're going to waveform, push it out, and yeah, the mid-tier 1 tower in a vulnerable position. They've got great vision behind, so they know exactly what's coming. They'll take the easy kill on Fenrir, open wounds. They've got, well, Lifestealer with a Rage, and they'll just do this one. Requiem Soul's going to negate some of the physical damage, but they get the first kill. Now look for the second one. June, not exactly hitting hard. Minus 32 damage for him, but Super in a really bad spot. Doesn't have his mech just yet, and Morphling waving through, gets one kill onto the Lion. Terrorblade's showing up to the fight, has gotten one, looking for a second. Chuan going to go down as well. It's the Witch Doctor with that kill, 2 for 2. The Chen creep army also being dealt with, and IG being forced to back out as an Invis rune will be bottled up by Ferrari. He's got his Midas at least. They don't get the tower, they get a 2 for 2 trade though. And they get the higher priority kill. They kill the Shadow Fiend, just lose their supports. But they may lose mid.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're gonna lose the mid tier
Radiant
1.
structures
Chen,
are
he lost all
fortified.
his creeps if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he lost all his creeps. He needs some time to regroup. Panda still doesn't have his blink, but he's level 7 soonish. But doesn't feel like they can actually defend this. So
Brew may TP in with the split. Ferrari's invis as well. I think they do want to do this. They're going with the open wounds, and still not TP just yet. FY gets off the cast. Ferrari needs to wait through the Ravages there. He's moving streak, but can he go fast enough? No!
Is under attack.
Oh dear! They lose the tower and their Morphling. What was
I
that?
think the Panda really didn't want to come because he wanted to finish his blink before he fight. He doesn't want to die before he
Yeah,
hits his
well,
blink.
well, fair enough. That's just complete team miscommunication. As far as like Lion going in with an Impale and the Morphling, like, okay, let's try and fight this, but
Yeah, it was really clear that they have a different opinion on the situation. Both are not on the same page. That's one thing for sure.
I mean, it feels like a simple, like, one guy says, I want to go in, then the Brewmaster just says no, and that's the end of that. Or, not sure what happened there, but
It's mostly the Morphling saying,
yeah, I think
dude, you have ulti, come defend the tower. We have to
Dyer's
defend this
bottom
fight. He said,
tower
I don't
is
want to die
under
before I
attack.
get my blink. I'm really close to blink. And you know, no, then he's yelling, come, I'm going in, I'm waving in. And he waves in, and the Panda is like, no, I'm not coming. Then he's like, oh dear.
it's too late. It's
It's
all
too
over.
late already. It's just one of those moments where it's either you go or you don't go. You can't be in between.
And there was I guess, it just looked like a bad fight to be taking, even with the Brewmaster split.
It's because the tower was already too low.
And they had no initiation, no guarantee Brewmaster would be able to even hit them with a clap.
Yeah.
They don't have that, unless he gets an open wounds
Needs
off
the
or...
blink before they can actually try and get a good fight.
Yeah.
Now there's no Ravage, they need to take a tower. Yeah, there's an opening for them to take a tower.
Yeah, and they'll have the Brewmaster Blink Dagger, it looks like. Luo, yeah, just one more creep for him, and he's got his Blink.
It's a really good timing though. He has as much last hits as the Tide. Net worth wise, it's almost similar. Like you don't see that often enough.
Yeah, the actions haven't been stacked that much.
Tide always has more net worth than the opponents often enough because of how fast he can farm the jungle or the ancients.
Well, they want to pressure this bottom lane here. Dire team do not have much vision here, and it looks like Brewmaster just sitting back for the time being. Mech on the Shadow Fiend complete. This is a very useful item to have against some potential IG aggression, and IG surprisingly not going for the tower push while Ravage is on cooldown. Instead, they're split pushing at the top lane with Ferrari.
Is under attack.
Probably thinking they want to force TPs up there, and then they engage on bottom. Once the TPs happen, they try and take bottom. But for now, Vici's like, well, you're going to push top, we're going to push bottom.
Yeah, but this is okay for IG.
Oh,
They're gonna
TPing.
They're gonna give a lot of space for the Morphling, and yeah, they can now try to fight bot because Shadowfiend move up to top.
Really nice Dire Observer Ward, just planted from the other side of the trees, so IG don't realize it scouts them out, and top lane Shadowfiend will defend. Nothing Morphling can do to really push into him or pressure him with the haste rune bottled.
There's a huge stack on the right as well for the Shadowfiend.
In the neutrals.
Yeah, that's on the right. At the
Okay.
So there's still stacks here.
nice.
Yeah, there's still really a few stacks here not being done. But bottom lane, Law is gonna be the vehicle here for the Lifestealer.
They've got to get in soon, and possibly the Tide they're going to try look to go on iceiceice. A primal split.
Ravage is up already.
Yeah, I guess if you primal split Rage, he's likely not to get it off.
You just want to toss him in the air, basically. You want to ignore him.
FY in a really good position. They are going to go with the Cloud. Primal split available as well. Out comes, well, Lifestealer with a finger of death. That's a dead Tide, and now FY in trouble as well. Tries to turn in Maledict. Hits his own tower, perhaps.
Dire's
And
bottom tower is
that
under
was
attack.
a nice little initiation. A Finger of Death, the other key spell that came up to get this
The Tide kill, yeah.
successful
that was crucial.
kill.
That was crucial to have the finger. I didn't actually know that the Lion was already 6.
Yeah, I mean,
Radiant's
it's
middle
14
tower
minutes in.
is under
It
attack.
goes without saying, but
Dire's
it was one of those
structures
things we
are
haven't seen the
fortified.
Finger of Death yet.
Yeah, that was the
Dire's
first one
bottom
for sure,
tower
but
is under
that
attack.
would guarantee the Tide kill, no Kraken shot blow-up, no
Dire's
Ravage
bottom
coming out,
tower
and
has
easy
fallen.
power. Now the tier 2 would be
Radiant's top tower
a
is
little
under
harder
attack.
for IG to go for after blowing everything, and Tide still has Ravage.
They sold the split, but it's like just a infested lifesteal with a split,
Yeah,
no burst.
They don't have the burst from the finger anymore to actually take down, and it's a single target.
I think Vici going to maybe try going to Roshan now. Black's still got half duration on his Metamorph, but
Maybe clear the Ancients.
yeah, this is... I think there's just not enough time on the Metamorph. No, they're going in, they've got Ravage, and they know there's no finger. Black going to start working away on Roche. The Dire team, I think, have a pretty good... Well, Radiant team have a pretty good idea of this, but can they actually make a move on it? There's no lifesteal. He's at top and really far away.
They don't have enough time, he's too far away.
Yeah, and with Ravage online, they can't really go in without him. That'd just be a recipe
Radiant's
for
middle
disaster.
tower is
Tornado.
under attack.
The whole game, there's always tornadoes on this show.
Roshan
It's
has
just too
fallen
easy. The
to the
minus
ground.
armor stacking up, and even just level 1 presence of Dark. They're going to try to fight into the Aegis. Brewmaster doesn't get a miss, but he gets chain stunned and brought down. Oh, nice reactions from Vici Gaming.
That was a really good Ravage, even though it was only on one target.
Yeah.
He saw the pen. To be fair, there was an observer there before that, before the dewater. They knew they were coming in, so he knew what was up, but it was still a really good reaction on the Tider to immediately know that they needed the stun from him first before his supports, the bench and the Witch Doctor could follow up. That was a really good play by iceiceice again.
Yeah, I'm not sure it would have gone. The fight would have gone well for IG anyway. Super had his mech. He didn't even use his mech. Not to
It's
mention,
difficult to say
his
though,
Aegis.
because Metamorphosis was going to end and he got a 3-man clap there. That was
Yeah.
huge. A lot of damage done.
well, Vici Gaming with Aegis in hand can look to just regroup, farm while they wait for the Ravage to come back up.
Yeah, it's like one of those things, you know, you don't want to take any risk there. So he made sure his teammates was gonna in no danger of dying when they take up the Brewmaster. And you know, they can use the Aegis like you mentioned to farm. It's like not like, oh, we need this Ravage to actually push a tower, get something important. Roche is down. They are not in a hurry to push a tower. They can just, like you mentioned, go back and farm. You know, so the Ravage being down is not a big deal for them.
Yep. Oh. Vici Gaming probably pretty happy with the tempo of this game.
Yeah. And if you're IG, you're like 16 minutes gone. How many blue splits have you used? None.
Yeah, Big Bad
Radiant's
Zero.
top tower is under attack.
Luo with a blink dagger up. He's had it for a good 5 minutes now.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes already.
It's sometimes the threat of the Bruce split, like when they got the
Radiant's
T1 bottom
bottom
tower.
tower
Sure, he
is
didn't
under
use the
attack.
split, but the fact he had it and was blinking aggressively was, he could have used it, but he
The
did,
threat-
he
the threat
wisely
is
held off.
bigger than
Yeah.
the spell itself.
Yeah. It's like, hey, he could have used the split bottom lane, but it would have been wasted when they blinked on the tide. They had the finger and they killed him without it. But you got to find opportunities to get something done now. They've got
Radiant's
finger back
bottom
up. They've got
tower is under
the Bruce
attack.
split. They need to make a move somewhere on the map.
Let's see. Morphling is going to build into a Black King bar this game. Understandable. A lot of disable, a lot of spell damage. Needs it. Lifestealer, SMY not completed yet, but he's just trying a lot to make space. Like he's always in lore, trying to get kills here and there. Net worth wise, he's almost the same as Ferrari, but the Terrorblade is just the leader of the pack.
Radiant's
He's
middle
just very
tower
far
is
ahead of
under
everyone.
attack.
So we'll see more Ancients being continued to get stacked up. And it looks like Vici Gaming want to just group up, go for that bottom tier 1.
Ravage is up again.
Yeah. And they can just take 2 towers probably. The tier 1 should be a pretty easy pickings for them. They have the Shadow Fiend with an Aegis. 3.2k gold on Shadow Fiend. Looking a lot like just a BKB game. With the, I mean, it's super. He normally goes to these more kind of defensive items.
I think it's definitely a BKB game. Yeah, there's so many stuff you need to worry about. The Chen, if the Chen has Centaurs, Lion itself has so many big disables against you.
Like open wounds, the clap slow. There's a lot of just annoying spells.
And Morphling is a hero that does a lot of spell, a carry that does a lot of spell damage as well. So you want to have BKB
Dire's
for that
top
the early
tower
fights.
is
It's
under
definitely,
attack.
I think, a really good pickup for the Shadow Fiend this game.
The TP's top, so he's going to leave the rest of his team bottom. But even with just 4 here, this is not a fight IG can take.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
I'm thinking if IG
Radiant
wants to win a fight, they need to
structures are
replicate what they
fortified.
did the last time. Take down, they see the tide, they take him down right into the game.
Mid lane, you're going to see where FY TP in, but there is going to be a slight defense to this bottom lane. I think realizing that there's not many heroes down here, Lua comes in, he may be forced to use his split defensively. Can he even go for a kill? TP now coming in, that's your Morphling. It looks like the tower gets claimed by the Vengeful Spirit. They should be going for the Venge, but no, they want Black on the Terrorblade. He has got Sunder available. They've got to lock him down in place. They do so with an Impel. They burst him. Nicely played there. Couldn't get the Sunder off, and the Vengeful Spirit, well, Fenrir TP's out. In the end, it was
Dire's
actually
middle
the
tower
wise
has
decision
been
to ignore the
denied.
Venge and go for the Terrorblade.
Yeah, and the Chen, actually he was trying to save his creeps in middle, but didn't. He was trying to recall and Hand of God, but the Hand of God came late. He didn't save his Centaur, so he's left with a Satyr and a Ursa. But Hellbest
Sad
matchup.
times.
Sad times. He lost 2 of his
Dire's
Centaurs.
bottom
It was a bit
tower
like, it
is
looked like
under
Vici
attack.
Gaming were just going to go for the T1
Radiant's
tower
top tower
and
is
secure it
under
with at least a
attack.
Tide. I feel like not having the Tide there, like the Shadow Fiend TP top, it's like, okay,
Yeah, it was a
this all 4, but
It was a really risky play though. They thought the Terrorblade and the Venge had got it, so they wanted to, obviously you want to take the tower with minimal resources and you want to use the rest of your resources to defend that. It's like being really efficient. You want to get everything going your way.
they even wanted to get the kill on Lua, who's like, well, I'll use my split. I got TP support.
Yeah, it was just on their part a bit too greedy, like way too greedy for them. They could have at least just maybe backed off, defended their towers and maybe use just the Terrorblade illusions to take the tower at bottom.
Yeah.
Just a really safe play in general.
So iceiceice going for, well, kind of the more traditional Tide build. He's going to be rushing what looks to be a refresher with his Blink Dagger. Normally he goes for much like Tinkia, the mech and all that, but this time around you've got a Shadow Fiend, you've got a
They
Terrorblade.
don't need the mech already because Shadow Fiend already got it, and usually in these cases there's a few items you could go for. It's either you go for the pipe. Pipe is a bit so-so here.
Yeah.
You could definitely want to do it, but I feel the other good option would be definitely the force stuff against the open wounds and the boulder smash, the lion disables. You need like
Dire's top tower is
mobility
under
against those
attack.
items, and you can save your teammates
Dire's
obviously with the force
structures
stuff as
are
well.
fortified.
86 fires, but with a BKB on Super, Vici Gaming still confident to push this bottom tier 2 tower. Voodoo Restoration, they've got the mech.
Dire's top tower
And for
has
IG,
fallen.
it looks like they just want to try and go for trades elsewhere on the map. Lua was farming some ancient, gets up to 1800 gold.
Radiant's bottom tower
Morphling getting
is under
closer and
attack.
closer. Has a BKB after this Midas use.
Radiant's
IG will be
bottom
looking to
tower
defend any
has
further
fallen.
push coming in. Not really any way Vici Gaming can push high ground, I don't think, but yeah, they're gonna. Oh, do they go for this? They lost the Aegis. I mean, they have Metamorph, Manta.
They have Metamorph there.
It's
It's risky though, but if they want to do it, it's possible because they have BKB on Shadow Fiend. Like Shadow Fiend is probably saying that I just got my BKB, I'm really strong now.
it just feels like pushing high ground in general is just.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's really
Yeah.
dangerous.
You're against a Brewmaster and Lion who can just blink in, get off a good clap ulti, and then followed up by a Finger of Death. Sure, we've seen them prevent the Brew Split once or twice using the insta-stuns, but there's no real guarantee that you're going to do that again. So I feel like it's just way too high risk. And when you're ahead like they are, it's what, like a 5... Oh, it's only like a 1,500 gold lead. Not much of a lead, if anything, but it's probably wise just to back off and kind of look to get further ahead, look to outfarm the opponents.
Well, interestingly enough, the Tide, he actually bought a Blaster right now. After the White Sun. It's really interesting, I saw you do that.
Okay, yeah. Just deciding that a little bit more HP against like the Lion Finger looking to burst him down, the Brewmaster.
Oh, where is it? Oh yeah, it's on the courier. Oh, he just got it.
So they smoke into the enemy jungle. They had a ward here which scouted out the Terrorblade early in farming of these neutrals, but they're not going to find him at the moment. This smoke doesn't look like it's going to achieve too much. Black is playing very defensively, even backing off into his own base.
He's around halfway, almost halfway to the Skadi. And remember RTZ once mentioned, if you can get Skadi, Manta on Terrorblade by, say, 25 minutes, he feels he can't lose the game. That's how strong it is. If he gets it at that point.
Well,
This game, I doubt Black would actually. Yeah, I don't think unless he gets a couple of kills or a tower, he's not gonna be able to get it that quick.
Ferrari now, level 14, BKB. What do you feel like this is for the Morphling? Like, what kind of items do you go for as
I
a
think
Morph?
Ethereal Blade is still really good. This game, he can burst the Terror Blade, obviously, or force a BKB or something. And that finger, you know, Ethereal Blade and finger, it's like anyone's gonna die.
Person down, Blink Ravage, he dodges it, BKB and waveform forward. Really nice play from Ferrari.
That was just a lucky moment. He was trying to clear the
Waveform,
wave,
okay.
yeah, and he got that.
They go in with the Brewmaster split, BKB forced out from Zoom. He's going to use the record, gets that minus damage off, but no one dies just yet. So life still in the middle of things, going down to start. Well, no, doesn't go down just yet. The Brewmaster Bears get dealt with, and Vici Gaming force IG to flee. Lifestealer only narrowly escaping, and while everyone else kind of heads to the top lane, and
No Ravage, no problem.
they've got Metamorph for a
Radiant's
good
middle
duration.
tower
This is a
under
high ground
attack.
push, definitely.
All right.
Radiant's
This is
middle tower
dangerous. This
has
is really,
fallen.
really dangerous. What do they have? They have a
No
finger.
split. Even when Brew respawns, he's got no split. He
Radiant's
could buy
middle
back,
tower
but
is under
what's
attack.
that going to do?
Chen has a tornado creep. About
Wow, that's, I feel like a small victory. We'll see how much that can do. Drew just getting shredded apart. Swap back in. The physical damage is just too much for the Lifestealer. They kicked out the Lion as well, and it looks like Vici Gaming have just blown this game wide open.
Radiant's middle barracks has
As
fallen.
there's just nothing IG can do
Double
except
Rex, I guess. Bottom at Rex
Yeah.
is gone as well.
Radiant's middle barracks
the
has
Metamorph
fallen.
wears off, so it's a little harder, but they're just going to GG out.
Yeah,
IG.
This is too
bottom
much. Like
tower
Shadow
is
Field and
under
Paralytic.
attack.
There's so much damage right now.
It's like Lifestealer against this. It's like he can't fight.
John is really mad to tell. He's
Yeah.
the only one who's so injured and
I don't know if his team are ready to GG out.
maybe his team is like, we can still fight, but he's like, nah, we lost this.
I think they had lost it, but it's like most teams would at least wait for that second Rax to go down, or at least have one more fight.
Yeah,
Like the
it's-
Lifestealer is about to respawn in 10 seconds.
It's like, it's a